There comes a moment in life when we get tired of the noise of comparison, the noise of competition, the noise of expectations pressing down from every direction. And in that moment, we don't crave applause or attention, we crave peace. Because once you've tasted peace, once you've lived a moment where your soul is quiet and your heart is at ease, you begin to realize peace is the real power. You can chase achievements, you can chase wealth, you can chase validation from the world, but if your mind is restless and your heart is in conflict, you'll always feel like something is missing. Peace is not just the absence of conflict, it's the presence of wholeness. It's when you can sit alone in a room with your own thoughts and feel safe. It's when nothing outside of you is controlling what's happening inside of you. That is power. Power isn't always loud. It's not always standing on a stage or speaking with authority. Sometimes power is a woman who knows her worth and doesn't need to prove it. Sometimes it's a man who walks away from chaos, not because he's afraid to fight, but because he knows the fight isn't worthy of his energy. Sometimes power is silence. Sometimes it's stillness. Sometimes it's a decision to stay grounded when the world is trying to pull you into a storm. Peace is that steady ground inside you that says, no matter what's happening around me, I'm okay in here. When people betray you, peace reminds you that their actions don't define your future. When life gets uncertain, peace tells you that you have survived before and you will rise again. It's the quiet confidence that doesn't need a spotlight. It's the internal calm that doesn't get shaken by the opinions of others. The world often tries to sell us a version of success that's loud, relentless, and constantly in motion. But true success is found in the quiet. It's found in knowing who you are, what you believe, and how you want to live, regardless of who's watching. Peace lets you rest when the world says, hustle. Peace lets you choose what aligns with your soul, even when others don't understand. And that kind of clarity, that kind of calm, that's not weakness. That's not surrender. That's power in its purest form. Peace is strength disguised as surrender. It's the strength to walk away when drama tries to drag you in. It's the strength to forgive when bitterness begs you to hold on. It's the strength to remain kind when cruelty feels justified. Peace doesn't mean you don't speak your truth. It means you speak it with love, not vengeance. It means you act from wisdom, not impulse. It means you respond instead of reacting. Some of the most powerful people in the world aren't the ones shouting. They're the ones listening. They're the ones holding space for others while protecting their own energy. They're the ones who know when to fight and when to let go. They're the ones who have learned that not every battle is theirs to fight, and not every invitation to chaos deserves a response. Because when you have peace, you have the ultimate control. You choose how you live, how you love, and how you lead. Peace makes you magnetic. People feel it. They may not understand it, but they're drawn to it. Because peace is rare. In a world that thrives on fear, urgency, and competition, a person at peace is a revolution. A person at peace is someone who cannot be manipulated, who cannot be controlled, because their source of power isn't external, it's internal. It comes from alignment with their values, from trusting their intuition, from living in truth. There will be times when the world will try to convince you that peace means you're settling, that being calm means you're not ambitious, that taking the higher road means you're weak. Don't believe that lie. Peace is not the absence of dreams. Peace is the foundation that allows those dreams to flourish. Because when your mind is still, your vision becomes clear. When your heart is light, you make better decisions. When your soul is at rest, you become unstoppable, not through force, but through flow. You don't need to chase what you can attract. You don't need to fight for what already belongs to you, and you don't need to sacrifice your well-being for the sake of proving yourself to anyone. Peace allows you to trust the timing of your life, to honor your journey, even if it looks different than others, to believe that you are exactly where you need to be, and that nothing that is meant for you will pass you by. So hold on to your peace like it's your most sacred possession. Nurture it. Protect it. Because in the end, it's not the noise that makes you powerful, it's the stillness. It's not the approval that makes you whole, it's the alignment. It's not the chaos that makes you grow, it's the calm. Peace is not just a feeling, it is a force. And when you live in it, walk in it, and lead with it, you become unstoppable. There is something extraordinary about a person who is calm when the world expects them to fall apart. There is something powerful about someone who can stand in the middle of chaos and not be moved. That power is not noise, not force, not ego. It's peace. And peace is often misunderstood. It's not passivity. It's not weakness. It's not giving up. Peace is one of the most dynamic forces in the human spirit. It is the quiet strength that carries you through the storm. It is the invisible shield that protects you from the world's harshest blows. And it is the greatest form of power you can ever develop. Not over others, but over yourself. We live in a world that worships control. We're taught that power comes from dominance, from being louder, tougher, more aggressive than the next person. But what happens when all that noise quiets down and you're left alone with your thoughts? What happens when your title, your followers, your status, all of that fades, and the only thing you're left with is who you are inside? That's when real power shows itself. That's when peace becomes more than a luxury. It becomes the very foundation of your strength. Peace doesn't mean nothing ever goes wrong. It means you've built the strength to remain whole, even when everything around you is falling apart. It means you've done the work to heal the broken places inside you. It means you've stopped looking for validation from people who never understood you, and instead of chasing the next win, the next relationship, the next distraction, you've chosen to come home to yourself. That's power. That's what so many people spend their lives trying to find in things, in people, in achievements, but never discover because they're always running from stillness. Stillness reveals who we really are, and peace gives us the courage to face that. You can have the money, the fame, the job, the relationship, but if you don't have peace, it won't mean much. Because without peace, all those things become heavy. They become burdens instead of blessings. You'll keep reaching and never feel full. You'll keep achieving and never feel enough. Peace is what makes your success sustainable. It's what makes your relationships authentic. It's what makes your heart feel like home. Without it, you're just surviving. But with it, you start living. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be the most powerful. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is choose silence. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you don't need to prove anything. Peace allows you to walk away from arguments that don't serve you. Peace lets you respond instead of reacting. Peace gives you permission to breathe when the world is telling you to panic. That's the kind of power no one can take away from you because it wasn't given to you by anyone else. You built it yourself. In your quiet moments, in your heartbreak, in your healing, in your prayers. You earned it. We often think peace comes when everything in our life is finally perfect. When the bills are paid, when the job is secure, when the relationship is thriving. But peace is not the result of perfect circumstances. It's the result of a trained mind. It's the result of knowing how to return to yourself when life pulls you in all directions. It's the result of choosing your thoughts with care, of holding boundaries with strength, of treating yourself with love even when others don't. Peace doesn't wait for the world to be kind. It begins when you choose to be kind to yourself. You learn peace when you stop chasing things that leave you empty. You learn peace when you stop seeking closure from people who never gave you honesty. You learn peace when you stop trying to fix everything and start trusting the timing of your life. That's when you start to realize that peace was never something you had to earn. It was always your birthright. You just had to clear out all the noise, the pain, the pressure, the lies, and finally make room for it. Peace is not some far-off place. It's a decision, it's a practice, it's a daily choice to not be dragged into every storm, every fight, every fear. It's a deep breath when you want to scream. It's a pause when you feel triggered. It's grace for yourself when you stumble. And the more you choose peace, the more you reclaim your power. Because peace doesn't mean you stop growing or striving. It means you stop suffering as you do. Peace is not about the absence of difficulty. It's about the presence of purpose. When you have peace, you don't chase validation. You stand in your truth. You don't force love, you become love. You don't beg for opportunities. You prepare in silence and trust that what's yours will find you. Peace isn't something that makes you smaller, it expands you. It allows you to rise, not with force, but with grace. Not with noise, but with presence. Not with fear, but with certainty that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. When you walk through life with peace, you will find that it changes everything. You no longer need to chase approval. You no longer need to impress anyone. You no longer need to fight for your worth because you already know who you are. And this is where true power resides, in the quiet assurance that comes from within. People may try to knock you down, try to undermine your efforts or question your choices. But when you have peace in your heart, none of that can touch you. It may affect you temporarily, but it will never shake the foundation of who you are. The world is filled with people who are constantly seeking validation from external sources. They crave likes, they crave attention, they crave recognition. But the problem with that is that those things are fleeting. What happens when you don't get the recognition? What happens when no one acknowledges your worth? If your sense of value is tied to the opinions of others, you will always be at the mercy of their approval. Peace is the antidote to that dependency. When you are at peace with yourself, you no longer seek outside validation because you already know you are enough. This doesn't mean you stop working hard or stop pursuing your dreams. It means you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. You operate from a place of alignment, not desperation. Your goals become clearer because you're no longer distracted by the noise around you. When you're at peace, you know what is truly important and what is worth your time and energy. You learn how to prioritize your peace over people's opinion. You learn how to say no without guilt. You learn how to walk away from things that no longer serve you, and that is powerful. Peace is the most powerful tool you have for creating lasting change. Change doesn't come from fighting the world around you. It comes from changing the way you engage with it. When you meet challenges with peace, they no longer have the power to overwhelm you. You approach every situation with a calm, measured response. The chaos of life may swirl around you, but you remain unshaken. The more you live in peace, the less likely you are to be pulled into drama. You stop reacting to every negative comment, every criticism, every fear. Instead, you observe, you learn, and you move forward. People often think that power comes from controlling everything around them, from manipulating situations to get what they want. But that is not true power. True power comes from controlling how you respond to what happens around you. It comes from your ability to stay grounded no matter what's happening in the world. And you can't get to that point of calm without first learning how to take care of your mind and emotion. Peace is a practice. It's a constant journey of choosing your responses, staying rooted in your values, and not letting external circumstances dictate your inner world. What I want you to understand is that when you have peace, you stop fighting with life. You stop resisting what is. You stop trying to control every outcome. Instead, you trust the process. You trust that the universe is working for you, not against you. Peace allows you to let go of the need to control everything and everyone. It teaches you to surrender to the flow of life. When you stop struggling, when you stop trying to force things into place, you create space for your true power to emerge. You begin to realize that the more you allow life to unfold, the more things fall into place. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. Peace is not about passivity. It's about doing the work from a place of calm and clarity. It's about making decisions from a space of alignment. It's about moving with intention, not out of fear or desperation. When you operate from peace, you make better choices. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop stressing over things that are beyond your control. Peace gives you the wisdom to focus only on what you can influence and to let go of everything else. The strength that comes from peace is the strength to trust your instincts, to act with integrity, and to stay true to yourself, even when the world tries to tell you who to be. It's the strength to stay grounded, even when everyone around you is panicking. It's the strength to rise above negativity and maintain a positive mindset. Peace is the power that allows you to face fear without being consumed by it. Peace is the power that enables you to take action without being paralyzed by doubt. It's the power that helps you bounce back from setbacks because you know that one moment, one failure does not define you. You can't force peace into your life. It must come from within. And that starts with making a choice every single day to protect your inner calm, to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being, to set boundaries that preserve your peace, to let go of the things that drain you, to stop people-pleasing and start people-respecting, to give yourself permission to rest, to recharge, and to simply, but when you do that, you'll find that everything else begins to flow more easily. Your relationships, your work, your health, all of it will improve when you put peace first. So don't wait for the perfect moment to start living in peace. Don't wait for your circumstances to change. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Take the power back into your own hands. Choose peace, no matter what is happening around you. Choose peace even when the world is telling you to be stressed, to be worried, to be frantic, because that peace, that quiet strength, is where your true power lies. The world can sometimes feel like a whirlwind. Everywhere you turn, there's a new challenge, a new expectation, a new crisis demanding your attention. It's easy to get caught up in that cycle of constant movement, of always reacting to the chaos around you. But here's the truth. You don't have to be part of that storm. You don't have to be swept away in the rush of the world's demands. When you realize that peace is the true power, you start to see that you are in control of how you engage with the world, not the other way around. The power to stay grounded, no matter how loud or chaotic the world gets, is what allows you to not just survive, but thrive. Most people think that they must fight, resist, and prove themselves in order to achieve anything in life. They think power comes from standing up, speaking out, and overpowering others with their force. But what they miss is that real power isn't about fighting for attention. Real power is about creating space for yourself in the middle of the storm and choosing to remain calm. It's about knowing when to step back, breathe, and trust that everything will unfold in its own time. The strongest people I know are not the ones who are constantly chasing after the next big thing or trying to outdo everyone around them. They are the ones who understand that peace, inner peace, is the foundation of everything they do. When you live with peace at the center of your being, you don't need to chase anything. You don't need to scramble for success or approval because you already know that everything you need is within you. The more you realize this, the more you are able to cultivate a sense of security that comes from self-reliance, not from external sources. When you are aligned with peace, your energy shifts from a place of lack to a place of abundance. You stop striving for validation and start creating from a place of knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are. Many people spend their lives seeking power by taking action in the world, by building empires, gaining followers, or proving their worth through accomplishments. These things are not inherently bad, but the question you have to ask yourself is, what is the cost of that pursuit? If you're constantly pushing yourself and exhausting your energy to gain the approval of others, what are you sacrificing along the way? Often, we sacrifice our peace. We sacrifice our well-being. We sacrifice our sense of inner calm because we're too focused on the hustle, the struggle, the climb to success. The truth is, no amount of external success will ever fill the emptiness that is left when you lose your peace. True power, the kind that is long-living and truly fulfilling, is not about competing with others. It's not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about choosing to let go of the need to be perfect or to always be in control. It's about recognizing that you are already whole just as you are. That's the power of peace. It allows you to let go of the need for perfection and accept yourself, flaws and all. It allows you to see your mistakes not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. And it gives you the strength to continue moving forward even when things don't go as planned. And as you protect your peace, something magical happens. You begin to attract people who resonate with that same energy. Peace is magnetic. People want to be around you, not because you're trying to impress them, but because they can feel your calm. They can see your strength, your unshakable foundation. You stop being at the mercy of other people's opinions because you are already secure in yourself. You start attracting opportunities, people, and circumstances that match your energy. That is the beauty of living from a place of peace. You stop chasing and things begin to come to you. It's important to note that peace doesn't mean that everything will always be easy. Life will always have its challenges. There will be moments when things don't go your way, when your plans fall apart, or when you feel overwhelmed. But the power of peace is that it allows you to respond to these challenges in a way that serves you rather than reacting from a place of fear, stress, or panic. You learn to trust that every setback is part of the journey, and with peace you face it with grace, knowing that you will move through it. You have the ability to create a life that is not ruled by external circumstances. You have the ability to find peace in the midst of uncertainty. And that is what will carry you through every storm, every hardship, and every moment of doubt. When you embrace peace as your source of power, you start to realize that you are never truly powerless. You are simply in control of how you respond to the world around you. Peace will always be your true power because at the end of the day, it is the one thing that no one can take from you. It is the power within you that will never fade.